I have 6 miles of an aerobic test running on the treadmill, keeping my heart rate under 155 beats per minute. And that 155 beat per minute is my max aerobic heart rate. Aerobic test is often great to measure where you're at in your current fitness and see where you gotta improve on. I did do a similar test back in December. I just haven't done this type of test in a while. But first, I'm gonna take April on a run. She's pretty excited now. And I did make a Strava for her. She's gonna wear this watch while I wear my current watch. So we're gonna go on like a 1.5 mile run to get her run in the morning, log it on Strava, and then I'll get on the treadmill. April, come. Go to bed. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. One thing I learned when I was in Oregon is that I really miss April, and it hurts me seeing the video of April howling, barking, looking at the camera because she misses me. And this got me thinking that I'm 26 years old now. I really need to refine my values and my rules. Therefore, I'm going to start writing and making a rule book. A rule for thesimonshi. For instance, loyalty is one of them. When I get a dog, when I have children in the future, they are your responsibility and your duty to take care of them, to love them at your fullest. And I will never leave April alone for 2 weeks without me, so I just have to plan ahead of that. Unless I trust someone that really knows April, and I know a couple of those people. Loyalty to my friends, family, my dog April, being there whenever they need me, and that's a good start to writing my rule book. All right, time for the 6 mile treadmill test. I think last time I did it, I was around 46 minutes. The goal here is to do 45 minutes, which is 8 miles per hour, 7:30 minute per mile pace, and that gets me at 45 minutes. But we'll see. I'm pretty excited to try this. 47:40, so almost 48 minutes, which is a good reality check for right now that I'm not fit at all. There's 11 weeks until 7.3 Indian Wells, and that I gotta step up my game. But fitness doesn't always go up. Sometimes you do need a break, sometimes you do need a little rest, and I think it's time to get back to work. For serious now. Girl, April. Good girl. How was I? Was I too slow? April, up. No. Come here. Come on. April, April. I know you're scared, but you must try different things. Oh. April learned a new trick a couple weeks ago. April, come here. Come. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Lay down. Roll over. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, April. I'm back on creatine again. Been out of it for 2 weeks. Gonna do 10 grams of creatine for 4 to 5 days, and then get back into my 5 milligrams a day of creatine every day. The run turned out great. My watch said like 7.5 miles while the treadmill said 6. I'm always going to go off the treadmill, but it is, I think, kind of slow, a slow treadmill. But I don't know, my watch said 7.5, I'll always go off treadmill. I did do my last 6 mile test on the Woodway, so every treadmill is different. I'm gonna use this one and do another test in a couple weeks on the same treadmill and see the difference. My minivan has been having some problems. We'll see if I can start it. Let's go. All right, now I have an FTP test on the bike. I have my indoor trainer here, And I finally got Zwift back, so I'll be riding on Zwift again. Since the last time I rode on Zwift was like in February, so a pretty long time ago. Now it's September. So it's been a while, but I'll need some more focused training back on Zwift. Pretty nervous for this FTP test. It's gonna hurt, haven't done it in a while. Can't wait to see what I can push out. Here's the setup in a tiny space, but all I have is my bike and my laptop to start Zwift. The first test of 3 tests that I will be doing today is a 10-second all-out sprint test, and then after that, a 3-minute test, and then I'll do the 20-minute test. After the 20-minute test, I'll then multiply my power for that 20 minutes by 95%, and that will be my FTP, and I can see where I'm at. FTP is usually calculated for a 1-hour test, but we have the 20-minute test multiplied by 95% with some other tests before then, so we can get a somewhat accurate number of what I should be training off of. 3-minute test coming up. In for a quick, easy swim, 10-400, all easy. 2 rounds of a 400 free swim, kick, pull, IM drill, choice. So that's 5 400. We're going to do that twice for a very long shakeout after that tough bike on the trainer. I was supposed to bike here, but I ran out of time, and I try not to use my car now because it has some starting problems, so I gotta bring it to the shop. I started fine this time. Based on my Training Peaks number, we can tell that I pushed a lot of power today on the bike. So 3 tests, 10 seconds, 3 minutes, and the 20-minute test. I had the second last 90-day 5-second power of 1,005 watts. The last 90 days also first place at 1-minute power, 406 watts. The last 90 days first minute, 5-minute power, 324 watts. First in 2023 for 10-minute power, that was 317 watts. And an all-time first of 312 watts. This is my all-time #1 power I've ever pushed in a 20-minute time period. I've also had a couple heart rate spikes, so this means that we're in a pretty good spot and I'm pushing a lot. In triathlon, we tend to be a type A personality athlete. I look at training data whenever I can. I go on people's Strava, read different news articles, and I do know that people like Jonas Vingegaard are pushing over 7 watts per kilo. So you take the watts and you divide by how much you weigh in kilogram. He's pushing over 7 watts per kilo in over 20 minutes. But Jonas, he's a 2-time Tour de France winner, and he's like the #1 cyclist in the world. And that sits at 7 watts per kilo. For my 20-minute test, I pushed 4.72 watts per kilogram. And someone in the triathlon world, Magnus Ditlev, who weighs 79 kilograms based on his PTO rankings, we heard him push 503 watts for a 20-minute test earlier this year. With 500 watts and 79 kilograms, that translates to 6.36 watts per kilo for his 20-minute test. Now, if I use my weight to calculate what's that watt per kilo, I would have to push 420 watts to match Magnus Dittlev's watts per kilo. So that's more than a 100 power watt difference, which is insane. And that's the beauty of the triathlon sport. We can go to Strava or pick on each other's brain to see their run paces, their swim paces, and their bike power to weight ratio. And that's obviously the goal, to get to as high of a watt kilo as possible. If I push 6.36 watts per kilo next week or before my race, I know I would be one of the best cyclists in that triathlon race, because Magnus is the #1 biker in triathlon. If you're pushing 6.36 watt per kilo for a 20-minute test, you're going to be up there. The same goes for swimming and running. If you're running a 3:20 minute per kilometer or swimming a 1 minute 5 second per 100 meters, you will be up there with the fastest swimmer and the fastest runner in the field. I'm very happy I got Zwift, so I'll be spending a lot of time on the trainer. I do have my triathlon bike on there. For specific stuff, we're going to start a VO2 block with VO2 session, threshold session, and all my endurance session. I'll have my road bike and I'll just go take it outside, enjoy the beautiful weather in California, and just enjoy the time there. But for a specific session, I'd like to be on my trainer and just dial in the wattage and see how hard I can push myself without any stop signs or traffic lights outside. Very excited for this next couple of blocks. We have 3 weeks of VO2, like I said, and 11 weeks out from 70.3 Indian Wells. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.